Welcome, friends. It's Diane Halfman here with another episode of Live Your SpaLife Show. I am so excited to have you here, and as you may recall, that SpaLife is a lifestyle that accepts that accomplishment and harmony can coexist. I am so thrilled to introduce our guest speaker for today, which is Ruth Klein, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about her because she is amazing. So let's just dive right in. So Ruth Klein is the CEO of her firm, Expert Celebrity Branding, and is the best-selling author of 6 books which have been translated into Mandarin, Portuguese, Chinese, and Russian. She has been interviewed in O, the Oprah Magazine, CNBC, Prevention Magazine, Washington Post Online, ABC, NBC, Fox, and CBS, as well as many others. So as you can see, Ruth has really well established herself out there as our celebrity branding expert. Ruth is a creative brand strategist and productivity coach. She works with conscious entrepreneurs, thought leaders, and executives to help them gain more visibility and become a thought leader in their industry so that they can do their magic and attract their ideal clients and the media. So no longer being the best kept secret. So if you think you're the best kept secret, you need to tune in here. She helps her clients create powerful personal and business brands and leverage these brands into books, speeches, TED-style talks, and purpose-driven and spiritually rich businesses. Ruth holds a master's degree in clinical psychology and a master's degree in spiritual psychology with an emphasis in consciousness, health, and healing. Ruth is currently the CEO of a new project called Universal Mom, where she certifies universal moms around the world to help children and teens uncover their brilliance and gifts through the art of writing. Ruth loves biscotti, me too, dancing, and long talks, and is the mother of Naomi, David, and Daniel, and is the Mimo, which is the French word for mom, of Hannah, who is 4, Gabriella, who is 2, and Ethan, who's almost a month old. So as one grandmother to another, we love having our lifestyle come together with our businesses. So Ruth, welcome and thank you for being here as part of the SpaLife conversation.
Oh, this is so exciting. I often think of your title, SpaLife.
Yes.
I love that because what it tells me, what the information it gives me is that we can literally have a life that's balanced and take time for all the great stuff that life has to offer.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love that. And, as a reminder, some of you who may be just tuning in here may be wondering, so, what is SpaLife? And, SpaLife is a lifestyle that accepts that accomplishment and harmony can coexist. It's a life of intention, one where there is balance, and one that's a life that you truly love. Because if you're not creating a life you truly love, what is there, right?
Exactly.
So, Ruth, a lot of people, they live a life by default instead of by design. So in what ways are you consciously creating things in your life so that you are living your SpaLife?
Oh, I love that. It's a great question. So what I try and do, and I make sure it happens, not only do I try, is I start with journaling first thing in the morning because it's so important to start the morning. Mornings do matter. They completely matter, as do evenings matter, but for a different reason. But mornings really matter. And so I take that time and I journal and I connect and I reconnect with me. I connect with the universe and I just start writing what I call stream of consciousness. And before I know it, the day starts to unfold. Now, do I have to-do lists? Of course I have to-do lists. But in addition to that, it helps me stay focused, and I get so much clarity, and I have what's referred to as divinely gifted downloads.
Ooh,
and
love that.
Those divinely gifted downloads, I will tell you, when you do this journaling, you will get answers to questions that you didn't even know you had questions for. And then you will get clarity. You'll start to get momentum, because when you have clarity, you have momentum in what you want to do, and it reconnects. So I make sure that I do that. That's number 1. Number 2, I have an intention that I have every morning, and the intentions that I work with, I have a little bit different. I call them 3D intentions, and the 3D intentions are a full 360 of who you are, including your senses, and there's a way to get yourself into that intentional zone. And so sometimes I'll have the intention to be a blessing to everyone I come into contact with today.
You are that.
Thank you. and I just got goosebumps.
Oh.
And what that tells me is that I'm here to serve. I'm here, a reminder that yes, I do have value. Yes, I do have gifts that I can help others. That's what that says to me. And because it's in that 3D place where I've created that intention, I'm telling you, miracles happen for the day. Miracles happen during the day.
I love that. I mean, just the whole idea that mornings matter. I mean, just that, and just having that intention and really setting, that you are stepping into your life in a way that really is the intentional.
It
right?
really is. It really is, and it's a pre-plan, if you will.
Right.
First thing in the morning, it's direction, it's reconnection, and it's a pre-plan. And instead of just going.
Right.
Otherwise, you're gonna. If I don't do that, I end up having a frenetic day, and I don't get a lot accomplished when I have a frenetic day because there's more anxiety in my world. There's more overwhelm, and I'm very, very conscious to pulling away and making sure that I don't have overwhelm and that I don't have anxiety, because once we have that, then procrastination comes in.
Right.
Stagnation comes in, and I'm all about moving forward. I'm all about momentum. I'm all about action, and that helps me create my spa life.
I absolutely love that. I mean, I'm always talking to, my people about, that intentionality and, utilizing that. I love that pre-planning, because that really talks about, I always talk to people about, your calendars, your mind in action. And so whatever you have set forth for your day, that's what you've decided to be a priority. That's what it is that you're going to step into.
Yes.
So I know you have this, just yummy term that you call about the quantum synchronicity. Please tell us a little bit about that.
I love that term. I love that
Me too,
term.
just hearing that.
And so I always wondered, someone asked a while back, asked me, Ruth, what do you do? And I honestly, this was years ago, I honestly couldn't tell them specifically what I do. Ouch.
Yes.
Ouch. And so because of that, I went tush backwards. And I thought, okay, what is it that I do? Because my clients get results, and she knew that. And so I went backwards. And what I found was this concept called what I termed quantum synchronicity. And what I do is basically I help people, they have their dream, and I help them hold that space for their dream and help them get there. And how I do that is through a 7-step process called quantum synchronicity. It's intentions, thoughts, beliefs, decisions, actions, momentum, and environment. And I go deeply into each one of those. In fact, I'm writing a book right now on that. And I'm interviewing several people, because the backbone of my book is quantum synchronicity, but the name of my book is Generation Why Not. And Generation Why Not is it's a generation based on attitude, not age. And the backbone of that is quantum synchronicity. So I'll be interviewing CEOs, very visible names, household names that we know, as well as an 82-year-old man who's written 4 books in as many years, as well as an autistic professional actress, as well as many, many others. And what do they all have in common? And it's this generation why not? And what keeps the business sustainable? What makes it so that we wake up in the morning and we love what we do instead of think, man. and so my feeling is it's that quantum synchronicity, and that's where the intention lies. That's where the results lie. That's where it is.
I love that. I love that whole, attitude versus age, because, it really doesn't matter where you are at chronologically in your life. It's your attitude. And I love that why not? Because that just steps into possibility and really, opening up to much bigger things.
Yes, absolutely.
I love that.
Absolutely. And at the end of the day, what I really do with my clients is open them up to possibility, for them to see their brilliance, because we're so up close and personal. It's hard for us to see our brilliance. I mean,
yes.
I understand that. It took me years to write my own bio. It's a difficult process.
Right.
And so branding is no different than that, because to have a strong brand, you truly have to know who you are, the value you bring, all the pieces of who you are up until this moment in time. And a brand is a living entity. It changes as you do. And it's up close and personal. And it's hard to identify that. And that's in a nutshell what I do, and then help people create books and speeches and TED Talks from that place.
Right. I love that, because, it's so brilliant what you do around the branding, because you would think that because we love what we do, that we would so innately be able to describe it and be able to tell people, but to come up with the actual words that land with people and make them want to lean in and want to hear more, and to be able to articulate what we're bringing into the world is so key and so important to be able to have that. I remember having somebody tell me one time that, you cannot describe your own eyebrows.
Yes.
Right? Because
that's exactly it.
Because you can't see them without a mirror.
And even with a mirror. We're going to be critical, and we're going to be limiting, and I love that, because it's so true. So that's and it's the same thing with the content and the value. It's expert celebrity. It means taking your expertise and becoming influential, becoming a thought leader. The celebrity piece, as a celebrity, you have a higher platform, so people can find you instead of you finding and trying to find others. You get a higher platform with your expertise, have that brand. And here's the other thing: not everyone is your client, but once you get your brand clean and clear, and the messaging, the actual words will land with your ideal client. It's the most amazing thing. It's not about being something for everyone, because you're not. You're absolutely not. And so when you have that brand clean, you realize, and the comments and the messaging, it lands. They know the language.
Yeah. I love that so much, and speaking about, celebrities, we tend to think that, celebrities have this extra thing that we don't get to have. And, the current buzzword is around, busyness. And when you ask someone, how are you? I mean, it seems like 9 out of 10 people say, I'm so busy, right? And there's just this wording and this energy around being busy, and that being the buzzword around that. Yet, we all have the same 24 hours, right? I mean, that's the leveling field that we all have. So what is your SpaLife secret that allows you to have the most impact in your day?
Okay, I'm going to share something with you which I love, and it's relatively new, because just as a brand is a living entity and it changes with you, so does time. And so it's a living entity as well, and it needs to change with you. But before I go there, I want to just mention SpaLife. That lands with me. I'm an ideal client of yours. I understand that word completely. That's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
That's what's so beautiful. And I often tell my clients, just show up. Just show up as to who you are.
I love that. I was just at an event last week, and I had somebody actually walk up to me that I actually didn't know that well, and came up to me and said, if you're SpaLife, I want some of that.
That's right. That's exactly right. Because they understand the lingo. They understand the languaging. It's amazing. But you have to first be clear before they're going to be clear, potential clients. So going back to this busyness, I'm going to say that get rid of busyness, because just psychologically you start to say that you're busy, and your subconscious picks it up. So you want to let go of that. Let go of the term I'm too busy. Let go of I'm overwhelmed. Let go that I'm anxious. Let it go. Bye-bye. And let it go into the nothingness from which it came. And I've created what I call a 2-4-3. Yes. And if your viewers would like to know what it is, I did a free teleseminar. I'd be happy to send it to them.
Oh, fabulous.
Or they can contact me about it. But it's the first 2 hours of the morning are the times that I basically journal. I meditate. I might take a 20-minute walk just to get my juices going and all of that. I have a breakfast. I have my delicious ritual coffee. I make the best coffee this side of the Rockies. And because I was going on for 3-4 hours, because I love that, but my highest energy and productive time is in the morning. So you've got to know what your biorhythm is. You've got to know where you are in terms of the most productive and energy-wise. So for me, it's in the morning. So
is that part of the Mornings Matter?
Absolutely, it's part of the morning's matter. Even though you might be a high energy afternoon, you still want to have mornings matter. It's essential that you do that, and knowing that your afternoons are where your energy is,
right.
That's where you're going to do your focused 4, and I'll tell you what that is in a minute. And so the 2 hours I do that because I was going on and on and on, and that was my really quality time there.
Right.
Then the 4 is 4 focused hours of getting work done. That's not surfing the web. It's not accepting calls unless they're related to your business. It might be business development. It would be marketing. It would be those kinds of things, setting up speaking opportunities. It's that 4 focused hours. And then, so I normally wake up at 6. So that takes me to 6 to 8 or 8:30 even.
Okay.
Then 8:30 to 12:30, even 1 o'clock. By 1 o'clock, Diane, I'm done in terms of I'm feeling so good because I'm productive and I'm
Right.
very results oriented, and I would venture to say all of us are very results oriented.
Yes.
And I do not like that feeling of frustration and that procrastination, and we say that we're going to do what we say we're going to do tomorrow,
Right.
and then we don't, and then we feel that we're not impeccable with our word,
Yes.
and then it's just not a pretty picture.
Right.
And so it's the focused 4, and then
Right.
after that, the 3, 2, 4, 3.
Wait, before you go into 3, I just want to talk about this 4
Yeah.
for a second here,
Go ahead.
because, one of the things that happens is that, we have a lot of open loops in our life, and we
Yeah.
have no completions. And so it was actually shared with me recently that, if you don't have an end time or an end date, then it's not a project. You don't have completion. It's actually just a process. And
Yes.
so many people are in continual processes all the time. And without there being a completion time, a completion date, that project never actually ends. So by having that set 4 hours, you can actually say, okay, this is focused time. I'm going to have this completion. And you can feel that sense of winning each day, versus that never enough, never getting done, and those open loops.
Absolutely. That's a really good point. And just knowing that I have 4 hours calms me down.
Yes.
Because I know I have the time to do what I need to do. Because 4 hours is an amazing amount of time.
Yes.
When you have the momentum and you're focused. And then the 3 hours, it's me time. And so I'm going to start hitting tennis balls, near the park near where I live. I am going to have manicures at a regular weekly schedule again.
SpaLife.
Yay! I'm going to do a lot more Zumba because I love Zumba. I'll probably sign up for a dance class twice a week during that 1:30 to 4:30, which I never would have done before. And that will re-energize me. Now, I've already connected and reconnected. I pre-planned my day because mornings matter. I've done 4 hours of focused, productive time. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. And then I have me time to regenerate me and to get away from everything that I do. And then I regenerate, and then I can come back and I can finish up something, or I can put things away.
Okay.
Or whatever I want to do at that time. But I have, between that 2, 4, and 3, I feel full. I feel like it's a spa life. I feel balanced. Now, are all days going to be like that? No. But I'm going to put on my calendar. I'm going to plan the days that are. So let's say I have 3 days of that. That's 3 days more than I had
Absolutely.
before. Let's
Yes.
say I have 4 days of that. That's 4 days more than I have before. And because I'm working on a book right now, I need time to write.
Yes.
And so my weekends are my open days. I don't do work. I will write. And that I know is a regenerative time. Very rarely will I even give speeches on Saturday. I do on occasion.
Right.
But those are my days to retract and really focus on the other 4 or 5 days of the week.
So I love, Ruth, how you talk about your 2, 4, and 3. And one of the things I'd love to hear a little bit more distinguishing is, what is the difference between the time that you are creating for yourself in the 2-hour space versus the 3-hour space?
Beautiful, beautiful
Yes.
question, beautiful. So the 2 hours, first thing in the morning, I don't look at email. I don't look at the phone. It's just an ease into the day. It's an intentional start. And I'm connecting with the older, wiser self. I'm connecting with the universe. I'm just getting whatever's in there out. And it's just a very beautiful time of connection. And in that process of writing, because it's amazing what happens when we write, we put pen to paper, and it basically hits our subconscious. So all of a sudden, stuff comes out. Limiting beliefs will come out, as well as the beautiful consciousness comes to greet you and says, wait a minute, you can do that. In fact, I'm going to give you a great idea. And then you run with it. And it's
it's like divine inspiration.
It's divine inspiration. That's why I just got goosebumps when you said that, because it's why I call it divinely gifted downloads, because that's where it is.
I love
the
that.
3 hours, that's out and about. I might check an email, but I try not to during those 3 hours.
Okay.
But it depends if I have someone who has a book launch or someone giving a speech, whatever.
Right.
I have to be on top of that. And that is my time to have fun. Whatever it is that makes you have fun. So many professional women, we do not focus on having fun. And we know that. And we want fun because we are fun. And when we can reconnect with that place inside that's fun, it lightens the load. It refreshes us. It reminds us what it's like to play.
I love that, and so what I'm hearing in that distinction is that, the morning is more of that, morning matters and that intentionality and being, quiet enough to hear the divine messages and to be in that place. And what I love about the 3 hours in the afternoon is that could be where some people could potentially start kind of crashing. And really it's a natural great break to be able to then get out, take care of yourself, have fun, that rejuvenation that you talked about. And just really, I love how those energies of all three of those aspects, blend together. And one of the things that really is, a lot of times we talk to our entrepreneurs, and our entrepreneurs tend to just keep going. Right. And they don't have any pauses or any stops. And, I've even shared with people in organizing their space to have like a open and closed store, sign at their office so that there can be some clarity. When is the store open? When is the store closing? Because it is so close and we have this, inspiration, it's so easy to just go back in there. I mean, we've been guilty of it having, our SpaLife studio is like, let's just run downstairs and film, right? But, it's our own, also having those boundaries to, because it's so important to have each of those aspects. And so when we talk about SpaLife, there's accomplishment, but there's also harmony. Yes. You have to have both, and how they coexist together is so important.
Absolutely. And I will tell you, I can almost guarantee that if you don't take a break, you will become counterproductive. Past a certain time and energy, you'll become counterproductive. And now the project that you wanted to do is going to take you 2 to 3 times longer. You're not going to be as creative. You're not going to come up with the quick ideas. The momentum's going to drag. And I can almost guarantee that will happen. And your body says, enough. And the adrenals say, enough.
Yes.
And sometimes we don't listen until the adrenals say, I'm done. I'm shutting down for a while until you get this. And so, yes, it's really important. And your comment that time of day is sometimes the time we start to go down, but that's because we're not re-energized. And so this allows us to get re-energized instead of the day going for high energy morning. Now for high energy afternoon, they're just ready to go, and that's just awesome. Yes. But for the high energy mornings, we want to regenerate and we have fun, and before we know it, it's whatever time it is. We've done so much, we've accomplished, we've fed ourselves, we've served the very people that were on this earth, I believe, to serve. And we are intentional about it, and we have connected to make sure that we are in alignment with all of that.
I love that. And, to me, all of that adds up to SpaLife.
Absolutely. And that is why that so speaks to me, because that's it. It's SpaLife.
Absolutely.
It's creating the life that it's in balance, that's in harmony. And that's what, when we go to a spa, that's what we want. We want to get rebalanced. We want to get reharmonized. We want to get reconnected. I just love that term.
Thank you. And absolutely. I mean, we can go to the spa and have that feeling, that sense of and just letting go. But we want to have that in our everyday life, in each of our rooms, and to have that same experience on how we want to experience that room. And so that being in mind, because each of our rooms speak to us and have us have the experience that we want to have. So keeping that in mind, Ruth, what is your favorite room in your home and why?
My favorite room is the front room. I'm very fortunate and very grateful that I get to see the Pacific Ocean, and I get to hear it, and I get to see the white waters, and I get to go to bed hearing the waves. When I remember one time when on my honeymoon, my husband, who's ex-husband now, said it sounds like it's flushing the toilet, and I go, yeah, isn't that wonderful? And so that is my favorite room, and that is where I spend my first 2 hours. So it's a full 360 connection for me.
Absolutely. I mean, visual and audio.
It's
and
visual,
being in
it's
place.
audio. And then my birds, the birds, they sing. They sing. And
I feel a Disney movie coming up.
My daughter said that. My daughter said, Mom, the birds probably come and bring you towels after your shower. And I thought, wouldn't that be cool?
Absolutely.
But it's that environment. It's so rich. And it's literally heaven on earth.
I love that. Well, I know our listeners are going to want to hear more from you, Ruth, and particularly, maybe hearing more about the 243 and all these gems that she's just kind of thrown out there about the, quantum, synchronicity and all of those things. So how can our listeners connect with you?
Well, you can certainly find me on Instagram at Ruth Klein, RUTKHKLEIN, small letters, or you can find me on Twitter at Ruth Klein, capital R and capital K, or you can certainly go to my website, ruthklein.com.
Thank you so much for being here
so
and
fun.
being able to connect with you and have this part of the
wonderful.
SpaLife conversation.
I loved the synergy.
So love this.
I loved it. It was fun, really
so
fun.
good.
I hope you had fun too.
Absolutely. And for those of you who are sitting, in your space and asking like, I want to have SpaLife and how can I have SpaLife as well in my home? Well, I would love for you to download my SpaLife guide, and you can get that at dianehalfman.com/guide. Again, that is dianehalfman.com/guide, and there you will get the 9 secrets to step into your SpaLife. So we want you to have that lifestyle where you get to have that accomplishment and harmony that yes, it can coexist and you can have it in your life. And until we speak again, live your SpaLife. Bye for now.
Bye.